Well, rubbish. Cost billions, it'll be a waste of money, and it'll never happen in my lifetime. They were wrong. Manhattan in New York has this most beautiful, wonderful new, I think in the true Victorian sense, it is a folly. And it is called Little Island, located on the west side of Manhattan, on the Hudson River. It is bringing life to a derelict, destitute, and rather depressing part of Manhattan.
It hangs off the western edge of Manhattan. This is Little Island, the playful new attraction that's charming both tourists and hardened New Yorkers. At 2.7 acres, the park has welcomed more than 1 million visitors since it opened in May of last year. Lured by Thomas Heatherwick's whimsical design and the tremendous skyline views. The historic site, seen here in photos from New York's Public Library, was once Pier 54, home of Britain's Cunard White Star Line. Between 1910 and 1935, this is where you'd embark on an ocean liner for a grand transatlantic voyage. Titanic was meant to dock here. Survivors from the disaster disembarked from the Carpathia here in 1912. After Pier 54 was badly damaged in 2012's Hurricane Sandy, the media executive Barry Diller stepped in. He envisioned an architecturally ambitious park that would become a New York City icon. Building Little Island, Diller and his wife, the fashion designer Diane von Furstenberg, donated $260 million for the project. But there were years of lawsuits and much political wrangling. Finally, it was done. It opened in the midst of COVID-19. It provided weary New Yorkers and visitors alike with a place to take a little breath. It may be called Little Island, but it has very big ambitions and heart.
Extraordinary. But throughout the summer, we're going to be out and about with our Summer Fridays. We've already been to the Edge. We've got locations all around. The TWA Hotel out at Kennedy Airport. We'll be out there as well for our Summer Fridays. We are going to be at the Metropolitan Museum of Art and Grand Central Terminal, Grand Central Station here in Manhattan. They are the icons of the city, and that's where we will be with Little Island, with our Summer Fridays. The man behind Little Island is the philanthropist Barry Diller and his wife Diane von Furstenberg. They put up the money. New York allowed them to do it. There were tremendous legal difficulties about actually protected eels, you name it. They faced it. And there were times when they thought they weren't going to bother doing it. But even so, Barry Diller, he persevered, and I was delighted when he joined me here on Little Island.
I thought, why do piers have to be rectilinear when, of course, boats aren't going, I mean, they were built for boats to go on either side. Boats aren't going on either side anymore. So I called them up and I said, could we be architecturally ambitious? Build something that's kind of icon, at least hopefully an icon of the city. And that started an iteration process of wild ideas of what to build. Some of them were so dazzling but truly unbuildable. Then this came along, which, by the way, when you think about putting 186 piles in the Hudson River and these tulips that hold it up, that's also insane. But we actually found out we could build it, and that's how it happened.
The growing pains of doing it.
Ugh.
I mean, you just said to me earlier, do you remember does one ever remember pain?
Well, I just did. So there's the affirmation.
Was it, but you only sort of, you never gave up, but you sort of paused once.
Oh yeah, no. At one point, my family said to me, we're ordering you. Go where you're wanted. We'd been sued by one horrible developer in New York. And it went on for several years. But it got to a point where we had, I don't know, $120 million of cement sitting someplace. And I thought, what am I going to do with all this cement? And my family said, just, you know what, ship it somewhere. Let it sink, et cetera, et cetera. And in the end, I came back to it, and we did finish it.
And of course, what I love about this place is besides the imagination and the beauty and all that, but it's philanthropy that truly adds to the environment of the city. It's almost, Edwardian Victorian in the sense of we're going to build something that is beautiful in a modern sense for the times, and it is going to be something for the future.
Yeah, I don't want to be at all, I'm pretentious about the thing, but the reason I love public projects is anytime I see something that's 100 years old, or I see Central Park, or Columbus Circle, or I see this or that, and I say, at one point,
yes,
usually someone said, I'm going to do this. And it usually takes that kind of will. And then you get something that over the test of time becomes something that pleases so many people. It isn't curing cancer, but it gives pleasure. And if my family is lucky enough that we can do that, that's what we're going to do.
When you see people here, what do you think? What happens inside Varadilla?
Honestly, just joy, happiness. Nothing that I've ever done, and I've done lots of stuff, has given just that kind of visceral pleasure of seeing people happy because of something we were able to do. Just pleased with wandering, or as you say, in an embrace, or taking a number. I think we've outdone selfiedom in the world. So yeah, it does do that.
Final question.
Sure.
When you look at this,
Yeah.
you are obviously, it's mission accomplished up to a point.
Yeah, it's here. It's now maintaining it and making it better. But we're already on the way. We're on the way to our next one.
It's a case of, so what have you done for me lately?
Yeah, well.
What's next?
Okay, in Los Angeles, there's a place called Franklin Park.
I'm familiar with it.
Do you know where it is?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we just bought 80 acres on the top of Franklin Canyon. And we're going to build a park. And we're probably going to do it with Frank Gehry. So he came up with us, 93 years old, better hiker than I am. But he came up 2 weeks ago. And we all stood around and thought, okay, we have this now beautiful land. We're going to make a park, we think. What to do? And Frank said, that's the joy. We don't know what to do. But in a month or so, we're going to sit around and cook it up.
Barry Diller, to meet the man and to meet him on the position and the place where he started this magnificent little island. There's a good, strong, I was going to say Yiddish, but actually it's Yiddish Jewish word for today here, schwitzing. We're schwitzing out here. It's so beautifully hot. And the man to schwitz with is Fred Dixon, who's head of New York and Company NYC & Co., which is the main tourist organisation. Before we talk to Fred, let me give you the numbers. For New York is making a good progress on its comeback. It's had 80% hotel occupancy in 6 out